listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV Saturday Night Live After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's SNL After Show.
Bing is for doing, and we're doing another AFTERBUZZ After Show for Saturday Night Live for the November 17th episode, hosted by Jeremy Renner, musical guest Maroon 5.
All right.
Yes, I'm your host, Matthew Kyle. With me, as almost always, I like to say, is Filup Molina. How you doing, Filup?
Is there something I don't know? Am I not going to be?
You're not going to be on the show anymore.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. And then Mr. Steven Seidel back with us.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
You know, it's good to be here in Movember. I like Movember.
Yeah, there's something different about you. It's the yellow shirt, I think.
It's the yellow shirt. It blinds right in or blends in with the microphone. Movember, Men's Health Awareness.
Right. Well, break the fourth wall and tell them.
Hey, there you go. Men's Health Awareness. Make sure you get your prostate checked and give back to those who have had some issues. So,
is that the idea?
Yeah, it's about checking your prostate, men's health awareness, and actually knowing about your body versus not knowing.
Right, and we were also talking that it's a really good thing for abstinence.
Yeah, if you don't want to get action in the bedroom, men grow it out. Women, they will pull up the sheets nice and tight.
Yeah,
so.
Men grow it out. Women don't show it out.
Yes,
check,
right.
That didn't make any sense. Check your prostate yourself. Is that what you're implying?
No, you go to the doctor and have your, they put on the glove and they check your prostate to make sure that you're okay.
A glove?
Yeah, they usually put on a glove.
Where are you, Filup? This is 2012.
I think maybe Filup. Well, actually, I don't know.
I got a guy.
You got a guy? If you're over the age of 30, I think, that's the time where you go in for the little examination, if you will.
You got it.
Not so little. But
well, speaking of healthy men, we had Jeremy Renner and Adam Levine.
Yeah.
Right?
Sex symbols. It was like a sexy symbol.
You think Jeremy Renner's sexy?
I think he was actually putting himself in that light with the opening monologue there. He was trying to showcase his skills.
What a voice.
What a voice, right? Soul deep.
Okay.
Yeah.
That said, did you guys detect the nerves? Did you guys all see that?
Well, that was because the other, obviously, the snafu when he was doing the opening monologue.
But even leading up to that, he kind of had a little like handshake thing going on that when my friends called out and we rewatched it, he's got some nerves going in. He had a little improvised line here or there, but like I can't believe they actually talked me into doing this.
But he calmed down nicely.
Yeah, definitely.
Real quick before we get there, I just wanted to see if you guys saw that Ellen was actually showcasing Kate McKinnon's beautiful skills and the ability to impersonate her, and she did a whole piece on SNL on the Ellen Show, so that was interesting. Did you watch that?
Yeah, Ellen is a huge Kate McKinnon fan. She loves Ellen loves Ellen, which is like an endless loop of just love.
And to see SNL getting into the cultural, well-being, so to speak, but it was great. And they even impersonated Rosie and Sophia Grace, and they got a shout out as well. They liked it.
Those poor little girls.
If you have a girlfriend, you probably watch Ellen. So there you go. Thank you.
I've seen a few Ellen episodes.
Yeah, thank you, Robin.
And I'm single.
But,
what?
Yeah. Oh.
Hey.
There it is.
But it's great to hear. And Ellen's, she's an awesome person. So, it's not a surprise that she really likes Kate McKinnon. And I thought Kate McKinnon did a really good job. But, that was last week, and we're on to the new episode.
Yeah, definitely.
The new episode, what'd you think of Jeremy Renner? Overall impression?
I think Lorne Michaels needs to stop hiring the movie stars and the butch men and start, get into the comedians. Get Aziz Ansari from Parks and Rec. Get some, Nick Kroll from The League. Some of these people.
Melissa McCarthy again, right? She's got 9 movies coming out in 3 months.
Yeah, even Halle Berry would be great to see.
She has some ground. Did Halle Berry do Groundlings?
Not that I know of.
I feel like she did something.
She might have.
Other than
people who aren't super dramatic. I know that it worked in his favor, maybe in a few small scenes there, but it was pretty tough to watch for me.
Let's check in again after the next episode because Jamie Foxx famously has a sketch comedy background in Living Color, right?
Color.
So that's where he got his legs.
So we'll see. You're going very much in the other direction. Of course, Jamie Foxx is not an action star with Jamie. Django Unchained coming out. But yeah, that'll be a good comparison. Someone who supposedly doesn't have comedic chops versus someone who supposedly does.
Not enough Adam Levine, I wanted to say as well. I feel like they underutilize him. He should actually host himself, I believe. He'd be a lot more enjoyable to watch.
Maybe. I think we had a little bit of a debate about how many sketches it would be, and you did that.
I believed that he'd be in 2 sketches. He only showed up in 1.
Which was my guess.
Yeah. So Filup is the winner.
But I like to go out on limbs, Filup, and you hold close to the trunk, and I don't respect that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whoa, you just got dissed at the AFTERBUZZ.
Was that a diss?
I don't know. It was just a really well-worded statement. It was very Hemingway, I thought.
You can't call your own statement about well-worded.
Oh, snap.
No,
Did you hear that?
There was AFTERBUZZ.
Yes, thank you.
You just got bitten.
Was that a thug sneezing?
Yeah.
That sounded.
Well, overall, though.
He didn't have a lot to work with. I thought he did a really nice job. I thought his opening monologue was fun. For what they gave him to work with, I think that he did okay. There was just a couple moments where I didn't think he had enough, but I thought he did a good job. The show was more of a letdown than I thought he was letting down the show.
Second highest rating, 5.1 in the 18 to 49 demographics.
He's popular.
Bruno Mars was first. He beat out Anne Hathaway, who I think destroyed him as far as performance. But
he was an instance where I think we were curious. We were like, what's it going to be like when we see this guy out there? And when we saw that technical snap that we talked about earlier where the piano had no sound, I think it kind of really quickly pulled away the smoke and mirrors, and we got to see, okay, this is what this guy's actually like, which is what we wanted to see. He was very much someone who you could see as he was he was out of his element, and we could see it a little bit, and I actually enjoyed that. It made me like him a little bit more, that he was like, I'm not comfortable doing this, but I'm doing it.
Here we go.
He seemed to handle that better, though, than he actually did the cue cards. He actually rolled with the punches, and he went through with it. Yeah. But I think he was more comfortable in the opening monologue with the piano as a crutch versus actually being in front of the audience and not really knowing what to expect.
Go ahead and, if you want, Google Jeremy Renner singing, and it turns out it actually happens all the freaking time. I was like, wow, does he do this a lot? And it's always the same kind of thing, like, I can't believe I'm doing.
And
just like amazing.
I have a friend who saw him sing karaoke about 2 years ago, and she was, staked the claim that he had a wonderful voice, and he stepped up to the mic and to the piano. I think he did a great job.
He does.
Well, good for them. Well, let's dive right into it.
And he also, a side note, the Coffee Bean on Sunset in Fairfax, I've seen him there twice. So if you want to track him down, head on over there in LA if you want to try and find Jeremy Renner.
I'm kind of uncomfortable with that information, but all right, let's go.
Okay, there you go.
But let's get right into the cold open, where he was not there, but we obviously had the book notes with Paula Broadwell, the now famous Paula Broadwell.
So you guys all watched this news story develop and all thought to yourselves, like, how's SNL going to do this, right?
Certainly.
That's how I think of all news. It's what is SNL going to do with any news that hits the airsway?
Yeah, and I think maybe because everyone watching was like, wow, what a soap opera we're watching. We're all like, maybe SNL's going to really play into the soap opera drama here, and like, we're going to get to see it. And I think they probably were like, you know what, everyone has called it that in the news, it's a soap opera, so they maybe didn't do that. And I think that was actually a bad choice. We didn't see anything happen. We just heard. I thought it was a very funny premise.
And they went for the Star Report kind of thing, if we're going back to the Clinton administration, they kind of went that route, where it's just like, oh, let's read the sex novel, the 50 Shades of Grey.
How old are you? You just took us back to the Star Report?
Dude, I'm deep.
Real deep.
You know what I'm saying?
But the TV is a visual medium, and we're listening to her talk, setting up this joke for 2 minutes, and then, when people start leaving, it was funny that Fred Armisen remained at the end, really engaged in this version of 50 Shades of Grey.
But a little slow. It wasn't the worst bit, but it was just a little, everything took a long time to
so combine that with the monologue, and it's like, man, we're off to kind of a little bit of a...
And the really slow lead-in just to that bit, because they were,
live from New York in text. I mean, that was really mundane.
Right, which I think everybody, even when I was watching it, that was the first thing you think. I was like, wow, that's the first time I've ever seen that.
So speaking of Philip's trivia bit for the week,
here we go.
About this. It's not only was in text, this sketch was written by Jim Downey, who's kind of the resident political expert on this show. So he's always he writes a lot of the political cold opens, been on the show for a very long time. He was the voiceover throughout that sketch, the C-SPAN voice, I think it was what it was. And he said live from New York. Just a little bit of trivia about live from New York. In the first season of SNL, way back in the day, they actually were not called Saturday Night Live.
No, they were not.
They were just called Saturday Night.
That's right.
Because there was a rival TV show on ABC called Saturday Night Live, actually.
Sure.
And so they couldn't say, well, it's Saturday Night Live, because that's a different show. So they had to carefully word their opening thing. So that first night, Chevy Chase with Live from New York, it's Saturday Night, which is the name of the NBC show. Of course, the other one went on to become so great that we sent it off into the heavens, and only lasted one season. So then this show took over that name. That's where we get that. Live
There
from
you
New York
have
is
it.
Saturday night.
A little bit of history, SNL history. But speaking
The
of
more
that,
you know theme song.
the more you know. With that sketch, though, do we really need two Petraeus sketches? I mean, we have Wolf Blitzer coming on.
Thank God we had a
bit
second
later.
one.
I feel like get rid of the first one. You know, it's visual medium. She's talking, whatever. You should have started with Wolf Blitzer. You
Think so?
And to start with your supporting cast members that aren't really experienced, I think is a tough decision to go forward with. I mean, obviously Jason can carry a scene, and even if the content isn't funny, he will, bring forth characterization, so to speak, that may be worthwhile to watch. But I didn't think that was needed at all. I really did not enjoy that sketch one.
Really quick, when you're watching the monologue again, if you haven't watched the show yet, watch the band members in the background as there's the music mishaps, and they just have very fun reactions about
Especially the guy to the left of him
he's
is
like,
just
"Oh,
and he's
no."
laughing it up and having a good time. So
His rendition of Kings of Leon, use somebody, shoot somebody, I thought that was enjoyable to watch. Just how he played on that. That was probably the most favorite of the
he's
three
fun.
songs that he performed. But the suit looked good too. I mean,
right.
he looked nice. I'm not.
It's always fun to see a talented performer, spread his wings a little more, and you're like, wow, everybody's so much more well-rounded.
Everyone can
Well-rounded.
can sing. Everyone can sing.
Everyone can
I
sing.
am an awful singer, and I hate that I just.
Well, we
constantly
are now
everyone
up to
can.
5 music sections in the monologue now, which I think is way too many, even though everybody can sing.
Yeah.
Well, who knows?
But let's get right into my favorite sketch,
Okay.
which was Visit Your Hometown, which was
I
the
enjoyed it.
pre-recorded bit. And I think it rang with so much truth to everybody, even
Very
if you...
timely.
Yeah, and timeless,
Right,
even,
And going home to visit the parents instead of, you have probably friends, girlfriends. You don't take enough vacations. Every vacation is to visit the family.
Right.
How funny is Tim Robinson's face just as the
popcorn, shoveling employee,
excited to see you.
in the movie theater.
Oh, yeah.
Tim Robinson,
The hometown friend.
Yeah.
he used to perform improv with this group, Cook County Social Club, and another guy in that group famously described him, and I think he nailed what Tim Robinson's face is. He said it's a retarded baby eagle. And if you
Okay.
just go back, watch Tim Robinson.
No, there's truth to that.
and
I
it's
can already
just-
see it.
It's
Yeah.
it's perfect.
Because his nose and chin almost blend into a seamless
right, and
beak.
he's like,
Hey,
yeah.
there
so
it
watch for
was.
that.
In-depth
Watch for that.
analysis.
God, we have such in-depth knowledge here.
There
Really
were a lot of
impressed.
funny jokes. Bringing home souvenirs when your parents try and stack you with the food. Driving up to the Kmart
Sure.
that's no longer there. It's now the Michaels. Or driving to. How many times have you wanted to go home and see your high school teacher and tell them how
And
much
then
of a-
change your mind about
And
it.
be like, nah, whatever.
and pull?
Have you
pull-
ever done it? When you go, they're not that warm to you. They
Yeah.
don't really remember you because
But
they've seen thousands.
If you tell
Well, I
them
didn't
that-
sleep with any of my teachers like you did, Philip,
Yeah.
but I don't think you're going to
okay,
get the warm
why-
reception.
How often can you bring that up? I don't know the gift you have of bringing that up.
I bring it up until society stops these teachers.
If you were to tell them that you were
I'm
an
a voice.
AfterBuzz host for the SNL After Show, I feel like you would have a different reception from the teachers.
You know what? Yeah.
Maybe even send
but
them
I
a
don't
copy.
pitch myself.
have you even
know?
tried? Put yourself out there, buddy.
We have a victim and a promoter. I'm neither one.
Hey,
you know?
if you've ever done this at home, maybe you could tweet or let us know on the iTunes. Give
Yeah,
us a comment on
definitely.
Facebook. Let us know if you've ever done any of these things, because
Yeah,
I know we
please.
all have.
And please review us on iTunes and let us know and comment and watch the other shows, obviously, on AfterBuzz. But let us know. We really appreciate the support. Watch us on YouTube or watch us live on Sunday at 5 right now.
One of my favorite sketches was the Standoff. It was, it wasn't great, but it was the way that they integrated his action persona, and it was funny. There were a couple funny moments there, and the fact that when they shot Bobby Moynihan at the end, I thought that was enjoyable.
Yeah, I thought that was a nice needed cap to that.
A new age SNL digital short, so to speak.
Well, I mean, I think are we all seeing that they're just like, okay, let's get rid of the digital short brand. Let's get rid of that pressure. Because I mean, if we had,
Pressure.
look at Apple after Steve Jobs. How often have you heard somebody, wouldn't be like that if Steve was still alive? They continue digital shorts. You'd get Andy would have done, X or whatever.
Something mediocre.
Right.
But that's my opinion.
Right,
But there's a
well,
lot of people who like the digital shorts, and I get what you're saying.
Right.
And you can't call it a digital short because it's not. It's not his co-writer from The Lonely Island who helped him with the digital shorts, and obviously
Right.
Andy Samberg was in every single one of them.
Yeah.
So it's not that. It is something else. But as far as the Standoff bit, my biggest complaint was I was like, I've seen this. And I know I've seen it a couple times.
It went on a little long.
I don't know if it's already out in either Key and Peele's most recent episode or
Love
in their upcoming episode. I have a friend who I'm trying to plug my friend for some reason. Who cares about my friend? He essentially has like seen a preview of the episode or something, and he said they have the exact same sketch in their thing. Standoff, going around town and not getting the standoff.
And is it a preview he saw privately, or is it a public preview that's already been shown to everybody?
No, I think it's a private screening. But my point being, parallel thought on the same week.
But Jeremy Renner
parallel thought that it might be pulled because of that now, because first man wins.
We'll see. He said it was burned into the episode, so they'll have to.
Well, there you go.
Just like the comedy world, everybody steals something. But the reason why I did like that was because Jeremy Renner actually was comfortable in his own skin. He didn't seem
doing his normal thing.
Yeah, he wasn't anxious.
Murderous.
Yeah, he was the force behind whatever you're wrecking with. He was born to do that role, so to speak.
Right.
Yeah. Well, if we're sticking on just sketches we kind of liked, I really appreciated the Situation Room being in there as a.
Okay, let's get into this one. Let's get into this.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna get into this. Go ahead.
No, I think it was a win for me. Really nailed it with this idea of. Oh man, CNN does just play the same clip again and again. So I think it got a laugh out of me every single time they repeated that same thing. And then when they switch over to Tim Robinson, who again, his face cracks me up. Just his like so confident reenactment of a woman.
Of Joe Kelly walking back to the car, obviously making the fact that they have no footage of this lady yet.
Right.
And they're desperate to get it, but she's like invisible, so they're like, well, we have one piece of footage of her walking to a car.
Right. And I noted specifically, as the sketch was warming up to me, I was like, all right, let's settle in and see how many minutes they take this for and how they ruin it. And then it got out right about that time. I started to feel that, so I was like, you know what? This sketch worked, and they got in and out. And I think they've been doing that more lately. I've less often felt, hey, that sketch went way too long. For instance, I mean, I don't want to talk about it too much, but the Californians, 3 beats instead of 4. They've done 4 beats on that sketch a lot, so I'm glad they cut out a whole section. It's good. Well, when Usain Bolt's not in town, I guess you can't do 4.
I thought Jeremy Renner, though, in that sketch as the mayor, was another lackluster performance. He wasn't given very much to work with. Jason Sudeikis was great. I think that the reenactment was really funny. They could have taken it one more
beat just on the reenactment.
Yeah, or even just a little step further there. I mean, we saw the replay, and then at the end they showed it was like an aerial view of the world, and they were showing her. That was they could have used a better button, but I thought Jason did very well in that.
Could have done an animated.
He was a superstar of this episode. I mean, obviously.
Jason was all over the place in this episode.
He was almost in every episode.
He really is, and we have to see if he disappears again in January, because again, he was supposed to only do half a year for the political season. So I mean, it's running down, but they've used him heavily in the past 2 episodes.
Yeah.
So, but I did like the reenactment part of it, and I thought it was good. I think they could have had a 3rd beat there. Like I was going into something like, oh, here's her Jill Kelly walking animated, and then they could have a little fun with
animation as well. I wrote a note about maybe animated or something.
Yeah, do something else along that lines. The Jeremy Renner, it was boring.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just nothing else you can say about that. The Wolf Blitzer, here's my thing about Wolf Blitzer, and I don't know how familiar you guys are with Wolf Blitzer.
But very.
Not at all.
Very.
Extremely
Enlighten us.
Did he touch you as well?
No. Well, he was a teacher at my high school.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Sexual abuse not funny, though.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Come on, guys. That's a touchy subject for us Penn State alumni.
But I just thought that his Wolf Blitzer, to me, it lacks something. I think Wolf Blitzer is actually just kind of a funny guy, and he's not super buttoned up. But for some reason, Jason Sudeikis plays him very buttoned up and like, stiff-jawed.
Really, in this one, you thought he was more buttoned up than he has been in the past. This is the one where
I think he's always.
All right. He had a little bit of more incredulous.
A little bit, but I don't know. I think that there's something else that's a little bit more fun to that impression that I think they can.
I agree with that.
You know
but
what I'm
Philip
saying?
mentioned something about the Californians, and we're talking about sketches that we like. There, I enjoyed that. I know you guys hate that sketch with a passion, but I
No.
What? Yeah, well,
You are not. No, that's
last time you said that you could deal without having ever seen that ever again in your lifetime. You
And then
did
you
mention
cut
that
yourself,
verbatim.
yeah.
You said you could do that without ever seeing that again.
No, all the stuff that I don't like in the sketch, they just need to get rid of. Because the stuff that works is
The
great.
Californians I enjoyed because Fred Armisen, obviously that's probably why they keep doing it, because they have so much fun with it. The fact that he was laughing uncontrollably and breaking character and things, I really enjoyed that one as well.
I thought that was really fun. I always like when they're talking about mapping the geography of the roads and stuff. I think that's great. I love the voices and all that stuff. The mirror, they did it. That was the best mirror stuff they've ever done because the timing was much
quick
better.
And they didn't do it 1,000 times.
Exactly. So it was better, and I thought it was okay. But you're still not getting a joke, and you're doing stuff for a joke. There's a punchline built in that you think it's funny. So if it's not working, just let it go.
The reason I do like that, and I don't think they're coming back with too many reoccurring sketches. They need to start to create some of these sketches that they can come back to, whether it's Ellen or whatever, that people, you know.
Careful what you wish for. Remember, I mean, the 90s, the early 2000s.
Princess the Driver
every
Cat.
single sketch, every single sketch was a repeat of the previous week. We would get. Remember when we would get Spartan cheerleaders every episode?
Sure.
Or we would get the middle school music teachers every episode.
But it was funny, and it was Will Ferrell, and that's one of my problems with where we're at right now in SNL, is there are a lot of topical issues, henceforth the debate and things, but there's not too many character-driven pieces.
Depends
So-
on what you find funny. I was just asking my girlfriend earlier, because I have one,
Right,
why do we watch SNL? And I was like, is it as, she's in New York sometimes, all right, you know, just not here now.
Yeah.
Teacher.
Okay. I did not get molested.
Yeah.
Can we just put that
All
out
right,
there?
we'll put it out there.
All
Okay,
right.
move on.
But no, I watch it for the weekend review a little bit, and I kind of want to see, like, you know, a take on the news, and of course we have a couple of other outlets for that now, more than when SNL first started. But you watch it for characters and kind of
for the character-driven, but I love to see the characters develop. That's why I think Will Ferrell is so, you know, great at what he does. Any character that he can sink his teeth in, and that's one of the complaints that you have about Jay Farrow, is that he can't really find the characters. Or the whoa.
What?
We just did a spit take. That might be
Did
the
you see
first
that?
spit take of AfterBuzz history.
Jay Farrow can't find a character?
Well, that's what the idiosyncrasies behind Obama and things is.
You're complete. I love this guy.
Yeah, you're throwing a lot of barbs here. I don't hate the Californians.
No.
Jay Farrow's right.
I love that he
except
just spit his water back into his cup. This is the first right
Well,
here.
there's a lot of expensive equipment around here. Actually, no, I'm making fun of you earlier. Yeah, I do not like Jay Farrow. I do not think that
he can do
find a character.
impersonations, but he can't find characters. Same thing with Kenan Thompson. Kenan Thompson is always himself. Like he can't really find the backbone of the character.
I
so to
wrote a
speak.
letter.
But everybody else can.
Yeah.
Pretty
Yeah.
much everybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, so your wish came true a little bit. We only had Kenan in one sketch this week.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
anyways, that's my 2 cents. I guess I gave one.
The
too
second
many
time,
cents.
The show did feel 300 pounds lighter.
That's 2 spit takes in a row.
Oh,
But-
beautiful.
And that,
Well, let's dip into Jay Farrow because
Yeah,
Jay Farrow
let's go
sighting.
ahead.
Please
we,
don't.
Weekend update.
yeah.
With Seth Meyers, which was a little off this week, but the winners and losers segment up
Seth
front was
Meyers
strong.
is the
That was
glue.
great.
He's
Yeah.
the glue of the show, I think. Though.
Absolutely.
We could
Well,
update
you're a
what
head
talk
writer.
about.
You have to be kind of the glue of the show. So.
Yeah, he's never gonna
Yeah.
not perform. There's always gonna be something worthwhile, some nuggets that he's gonna
Right.
deliver.
Winners and losers was one of those where I
Love it.
talked about before. Those segments usually always work. One this season I thought didn't work. I don't remember what it was, but usually they always work. So it was a solid winners and losers. But for all of y'all that are begging, like, oh, when is Katt Williams gonna show up on SNL? You got your wish. You got Jay Farrow and Katt Williams in one thing.
Which I was not familiar with this story about Katt Williams at all that he was doing.
I didn't know
Most-
about the story. But,
Most people don't know who Katt Williams is.
Yeah.
Well, that's
because
impossible
most of
because, you know, Katt Williams is the most successful touring comedian right now, and he has been for like 5 years.
And his audiences
I found
are-
that astonishing of a lot of people don't know who he is.
Yeah, I mean, a good way to tell is listen to the audience in that sketch. Jay Farrow actually tweeted after this, which
And he
was,
dropped an F-bomb. I don't know if you caught that.
I did not
did
catch
he?
that.
Because my roommate was like, was that an F-bomb? But he
Yeah.
said the word fight, but
Yeah.
it sounded like maybe it started as something
It
else.
started as that.
Fight.
Yeah, and then they
Fight.
caught it. Yeah, but
Yeah.
anyways, I didn't mean to interject.
Maybe. Let's. It's worthy of that.
Yeah.
Let's check it out later. But
Yeah.
the sketch. So Jay Farrow tweeted about it later, and he's like, the best part about that Katt Williams piece is that most people don't even know who Katt Williams is, and it still got laughs. And I was like, why do you tweet this?
That's
Everyone
not
else, all the other SNL people today are tweeting Vin Diesel Sunday. They're just like making fun of Vin Diesel all day, and he's talking about like this great sketch that he did. Go back and watch it again. There's one lady laughing very loudly, who, you know, Mrs. Farrow is there or whoever it is. She loves it. The audience isn't really responding to that.
It is a really good impression, and this is, I don't know why it is. I'm trying to figure out now it's kind of a missing piece, but it's a really good impression of Katt Williams. And I'd argue that there's nobody else in the world.
It is a really good impression.
but
you
it
can't
just,
deny him that.
there's not the hook there that's intrinsically really funny to that character.
People don't
for
know
some
who he
reason.
is, so they can't laugh. I
Well,
mean, obviously.
But
you
I know
he's
who
making-
Katt Williams is. I've seen a lot of Katt Williams. It's not like I like him or anything, but I've seen a lot
Wait,
of...
no, you like Katt Williams?
I like him enough, but again, I think and he's kind of a funny, quirky little dude, and he's done some good guest star roles on TV.
Okay, well, what about the Chris Christie?
Well, really quick, I want to touch something right there, because I think the reason that you guys are having trouble connecting with that sketch is something we've talked about in the past, but not really touched on enough. It's really hard to make people who are in comedy or situations that are already comedic to take a comedic spin on that in addition to it.
No, I know that, but
so that's a little
Katt
awkward.
Williams is so funny in. If you find one quality in he's already weird on purpose, okay?
But exactly.
If you find one quality in there, you can make that funny.
Yeah. No, imagine them trying to do a Borat sketch about Borat. It's like this guy is playing an extreme caricature of a type of person.
But I would argue that because Jimmy Fallon doing Robin Williams is funny.
What about
Robin
Jason
Williams,
Sudeikis doing Dane Cook like a couple weeks ago?
It's funny.
Still funny. Just
because he's finding, and he basically, because you have to find the character and then exaggerate some element.
Right.
So that's why he's like, look at all the planes and the buildings. Dane Cook. That's why that works better. It's just with Katt Williams, he does such a solid impression, but he's not exaggerating one piece of it.
Okay, so this goes back to the Jay
it's just
Farrell
right there.
issue, where we're watching a little clip of Katt Williams on SNL rather than making. Honestly, they got to make fun of him, and it wasn't really making fun of him.
Yeah.
But Katt Williams did great work on My Wife and Kids, Damon Wayans' show, like a decade ago, where he played Bobby Shaw, his rival from high school. Hilarious.
If you don't know Katt Williams, you should definitely take a look at him and peek into some of his comedy. You may or may not like it, but he definitely is pretty enjoyable to watch.
All right,
for me, anyways.
So Chris Christie.
Chris Christie.
Actual himself, Chris Christie.
Nice. Everybody loves that.
Krispy Kreme, Chris Christie.
Yeah. Solid. He did solid work.
Solid, right?
Yeah.
Enjoyable.
He did his best, and I think he did a great job. The wet fleece was probably one of the funnier moments to really poke fun at himself. You know,
just a few times that he missed the timing there, but again, he was looking at the cards, and he's no professional. You know,
but he's close. He's your uncle. He's your uncle who knows how to command a room, kind of guy. You know what I mean? So he
he's a great orator. If you guys watch the Republican National Convention,
absolutely, he's a great speaker. This guy, a lot of people are saying this is going to be the next president of the United States.
They're looking at it.
I mean, this guy can speak. Go back. He didn't stumble on those words, and that's tough, honestly.
But again, he's also a politician. They are used to reading off teleprompter.
Right, they're live
not cue cards, but they get it.
I had a question for you guys. Do you think that he approached SNL or SNL approached him? And then on a sidebar, if he is going to be running for president in 4 years, is this him already laying the groundwork so that he can come through and get some of the followers?
I think SNL approached him to answer your first
I would agree with that as well.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think a lot of people tend to go to them because if I was SNL, I'd be like, this is the most pathetic thing. Like, can I give you airtime? No, thanks. And then the second thing, I think he's been laying groundwork for as long as we've known his name. I think his move of like, I'm not going to be political right now, Obama's doing great work, I think that is him being brilliant and being by staying out of politics right now, I am actually coming off as a great leader so that in 4 years
could be.
Yeah,
because if you remember 8 years ago when Barack Obama really hit the scene at that DNC convention and like kind of shot up into the stratosphere and like this guy's got heat.
Yeah.
He kind of did that at the Republican National Convention. Yeah. So he's definitely a front runner, and you'll see what happens, the caucuses and stuff like that. But.
He earlier Filup mentioned Vin Diesel. Was that WB sketch the one with the scene?
Was that Vin Diesel?
Was that supposed to be a take on Vin Diesel? The guy's name was Dick Fuel or whatever.
Maybe
it was.
He did it. Well, not really. I mean, it could be because you're like kind of the style he was doing in the leather jacket and the shaved head.
Abrasive,
the name is also a take on like Fuel, Diesel.
Yeah, right. Fuel and Diesel. And
you know what? I didn't think about that until this moment.
Yeah, and that was one of my least favorite sketches. It was like
I thought it was really bad.
They're just gonna try and slap each other. So put that under the bad.
I loved it.
Put that under the.
Okay, if you want to see a really good sketch that copies that same formula, that blows that out of the water 1,000 times, go see the Katie Holmes episode with Will Ferrell. Okay, and I think it was like 2005-ish, right? Probably when she was promoting Batman. So Katie Holmes, Will Ferrell, and she keeps kneeing him in the crotch. Okay. It is hilarious. I think it's on Will Ferrell's Volume 2 Best Of. Volume 2 Best Of.
Because Jason had to carry that. He had to carry that scene, and I don't think that. I think Jason needs a team, like a team environment, maybe sometime. Like
maybe
that sketch was to me kind of indicative of the entire show, where it had a slow start, and then it actually very rarely this happens. It built energy. I think this episode actually became better later on.
It did.
So, and I think that sketch did too, where it actually became better later on.
What was the joke? The slap?
He's a tough guy.
Yeah, the game was the beats of if he's going to get slapped or something.
Tough guy who doesn't want to get slapped.
Yeah, and then
but it was not funny.
The other guy slaps him at the end. Yeah,
your beats have to be funny.
Yeah.
And then it was right when it starts, you're like, okay, now this is going to be the conflict, and we're going to have to keep working through this point.
And a bunch of penis jokes, different name. Then they throw Ray J in there from 10 years ago.
That's what I said. I yelled at the
that all
TV.
about?
I was like, geez, what's with the topical references there, gang? 2007
Seriously,
here?
they were sitting on that joke for however long.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen that though?
Yeah,
No, I have not seen that. I haven't seen any of the sex tapes. I haven't seen Pamela Anderson. I haven't
Paris
seen
Hilton?
Are you Amish or something?
No, I just, whatever. I don't want to get jealous.
I think
of it.
Amish have seen any tapes.
You don't want to get Amish?
I don't.
Well, if you watch the Ray J one, you'll get a little jealous.
You'll get a
Because,
little jealous
he's
about
doing the Subway commercial.
Okay. $5 footlong? Oh, okay. Michael Strahan style?
Yeah, you got it. You got it. You
I
got it.
Nice. Well,
Blake Griffin.
and I also didn't, the drones, I didn't like that one either.
Well,
That
we should separate a whole bit for that, I think, because there was so much going on there.
TV Funhouse wannabe, Robert Smigel.
I mean, yeah, let's just...
I put that under the worst sketches as well. That one was
Okay,
just,
but let's go right to the beginning because, again, we're talking about TV Funhouse, which was huge in the 90s. You know, you had a lot of fun stuff. You know, Fun with Real Audio was a lesser bit they did, but obviously the biggest was Ambiguously Gay Duo, which you can't find a soul who didn't think that was awesome.
killed it.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Steve Carell and Stephen Colbert did the voices, if you guys aren't hip to that, because they were actually writers at the time. They didn't get hired.
Yeah.
Just for that segment, actually.
Just for that
Smigel
segment.
got
That
to
one
hire
piece.
exactly who he wanted. And so that's the whole
Right.
idea of Lauren saying, get back here with my show. It's because someone else has they have entire control over that segment.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And the fun send-off of that was when they did it last year. Steve Carell and Steve Colbert, when they did like the live action, they actually played, their characters. So if you didn't catch that, go revisit that. That was really cool.
The credits at the end of this drones one were just like that as well. I mean, they were set up like Hanna-Barbera as well. So
totally, and it was called Midnight Snack instead of TV Funhouse, which is kind of had the same feel. They're like, now a midnight snack, and it was like a monster, eating popcorn, and you're like, okay, same feel. I know what you're giving me. The animation was very similar.
Yes, extremely similar.
The quality was not.
There was a
like
few
you were
moments
saying.
in that were funny, like the bombing, and it just kept blowing up and blowing up and blowing up. And I felt like they proved a political point or whatever they were looking to achieve.
I actually really liked the sketch, but only in the way that like I appreciated it, and it made me laugh definitely a couple of times. I pledge allegiance to your booty. Makes me laugh no matter how many times I say it.
Well, his girlfriend's in New York.
She's real.
She's real fake.
Yeah, she just she's reachable at email addresses, multiple ones. But no, that was written by
at livecam.com.
That was written by Zach Kanan and Rob Klein. Zach is actually a hire that they hired along with Sarah Schneider from College Humor.
Okay.
So you might see a little bit of that College Humor feel brought over. I appreciate just in general though that effort of this is trying to get that audience that we talked about. SNL needs to do something a little different. This is the Adult Swim audience. I think that's what they're doing here. And I think it works for the people that enjoy that, the stoners who are still up. A midnight snack, is that not more, how could that be more for stoners, So I appreciate them doing it.
Kudos to them to go to the animation for once, and I to break format a little bit like that. I also feel like there were some funny jokes in that. I wanted to call out the guy with the deep bass voice.
Right, like the Boyz II Men guy.
Yeah, the Boyz II Men guy. I thought there were like the little moments in there. Just trim it up a little bit. Just trim it down.
That was my complaint.
The whole night, there were everything just seemed to be kind of going a little bit longer. Than
And animation is usually so tight, just because you don't want to have to draw a lot of extra stuff. It's just wasted energy. So when the opening and he does this long explanation, it's like it wasn't that complicated. They're drones and pop stars. Just tell me that in 5 seconds and we can go.
Right,
I don't need 40 seconds.
Yeah. Again, interesting one to go back and just listen to the audience, because at first I was like, oh, this is a video bit that they don't have audience sound for, and then I finally heard laughs. I was like, oh no, that just meant they haven't been laughing for the first minute. But it's both because it was a long intro, but also I think the audience was genuinely like, whoa, what is SNL doing? And they were just caught off guard. I don't think they hated it. It builds as it goes again, but I'm excited to bring it back. I don't have any hate if they rip off their own thing. You know what? Fine, just bring it back. That's a fun thing.
It's Back to the Future. It's almost 2015. It's time.
I'd like to give them props actually, because there's probably a few people out there who don't even know what drones are, and
now they know.
Yeah, now they know.
That's true.
Drones these days are becoming more.
They're not
more
as
present.
politically active and against teacher abuse as we are.
Yes.
So I get it.
So
I get it. And hey, let's talk about something we might be divided on: the Avengers.
Oh well.
I really wish
thumbs down.
Two thumbs down.
Two thumbs down. Hey, I enjoyed it.
I wish they hadn't done it. I wish they had done instead the, if you guys catch it on NBC.com, the sketch they cut.
Yeah, Thanksgiving.
They cut from dress rehearsal. It's a big Kate McKinnon character piece.
Yes.
And it's very much from the days of Kristen Wiig, not being able to hold a secret, that kind of character. And it's just, Kate is just killing it. The audience is, it's on Hulu, it's on NBC. The audience is loving it. It has some really weird bits. Jeremy Renner plays his biggest character of the night. Go back and watch it. Very interesting piece. It's timely. It's for Thanksgiving. A lot of the cast was in there. And then they do this Avengers thing because maybe it's more like, oh, did they do the Avengers thing? I want to see it kind of, and maybe people would watch it.
It's a #1 watch video. Anywhere you see it, they're showing Jeremy Renner with the Avengers. It's all about ratings.
Exactly.
You know, they just want people to check in.
So cut Situation Room with Wolf Blitzer.
Yeah.
Which I thought was way better than the cold open.
No,
so.
cut the cold open, move
cut
Wolf.
the cold. Okay.
Move Wolf to the front.
I can go either way on that.
Make the show 20 minutes long.
Yeah.
Cut a musical act. We can really cut.
It had potential. The costumes were great. It had potential. It's just Jeremy, another lackluster performance, I think. I thought Bobby Moynihan's portrayal of the Hulk was funny when they were whipping him around and hitting him. I mean, it was physical. That was great. But
the technical aspect hurt it, honestly. There was the sound was a little off and the weird like leaping kind of thing, and it was just like it was
no blocking really. They just stood there.
Right.
There wasn't really any
Kate
movement.
McKinnon, great once again. You know, can't say enough about her.
Yeah, great Scarlett Johansson there. She had the face down and the brooding.
The famous Avengers Scarlett Johansson. Did a great job with that. You know what's kind of interesting is Taron Killam's wife or girlfriend, wife, I believe.
She played that woman in there. My girlfriend mentioned that.
Yeah, from How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
She was in an actual film.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
She's very attractive.
Yes. And you're single, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, if anybody knows her, make sure to send us a note.
But she's engaged or married to Taron Killam.
Hey, don't put yourself so beneath him.
I forgot about that. My brain went.
I've broken up marriages
I got lost
before,
in the
right,
Avengers. I've got lost in the Avengers shuffle. But losing the arrows was like, okay, cool. He lost his arrows.
No. Don't get me wrong. I thought every arrow joke they made actually was funny.
That's what I really liked about it. That's what put me over the top. When he had the quill joke about he could only fit 11, and then he's like, but I killed 11 people. And then when he said he couldn't fit a 12th because it was too tight and it was unsafe, that joke really got me. And that was that little like...
That was one joke. Yeah.
There was a 45-second section in there and kind of the middle to the end there that I thought was really solid.
Well,
and
his
really fun.
his section actually did work.
Yeah.
All the lead up was.
I enjoyed each character, Thor and his hair, and Robert Downey Jr.'s character, or Jason Sudeikis quipping, and all those. And I enjoyed that a lot more than watching them try and put a scene together for Jeremy. But that was just me.
Which to me was the only part that actually did work. That was a really awkward Iron Man costume.
Yeah,
that was. I was looking when you're really
and you're like Kmart or something.
Get him a cod piece or something, because I was like, dude, you're showing brain. Like, let's cut it back a tad.
Whoa,
yeah, another Subway joke.
A little chicken heart. A little beating chicken heart. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah, saw a little too much of that. Anyways.
Beating chicken heart?
Yeah. Whatever.
Did you just make this up?
No, chicken. Never mind. We'll go back to that. A chicken heart.
What's going on the East Coast?
Yeah, if you haven't heard about the chicken heart.
To clarify, you're talking about testicles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when you squeeze them,
they look like a chicken.
If you squeeze them really tightly, they actually look like a chicken heart, and you can see the veins like it's
I've never seen a chicken heart either.
Well,
you're on some Euro websites. I don't know what you're into.
Watch out. Hey, thank you, Penn State.
So now I want to die, which is a perfect segue into identifying the body, which was our final sketch of the evening.
Okay, just calling out you set yourself up for your own segue, but go ahead.
Yeah. I also write a segue. And segue
He's
into
good.
segues.
He's Johnny Segues over there. Good work.
Johnny Segues.
Johnny Segues.
Right.
There it was.
How else am I going to do that from Chicken Heart, Philip? From Chicken Heart. There is no built-in
Yeah, let's go back to Chicken Heart.
Oh, gosh.
Let's grind that.
A little gum in your
So
pocket.
identifying the body, which was, I thought, a fun, like a B sketch. It's not the A material, it's the B material.
It's a clear game, which I think a lot of times we beat up on them for. So thank you for giving you a very clear game sketch. Bad at identifying body.
Yeah.
Very simple.
Sure. Played
it well. Bill Hader did a fun thing. In general, he was very fun. Something that someone pointed out. You wouldn't be able to get away with if you weren't one of the senior cast
veteran,
members.
for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
The hazing in the middle of a scene, you mean?
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
pushing snot down his mouth.
Right.
But yeah, no,
He took it like a champ, though, didn't he?
He did. He didn't even move. I was like, please, Taron, break character.
What does he not take like a champ, though?
Yeah, you know, he's good.
When I break up his marriage.
Colby? Yeah. Exactly. There it is.
When you break up his marriage.
That's how I set you up, and then you can.
Alley-oop.
What was
There
that?
you go.
I like this.
Squash?
Oh, okay.
I still think this one went on too
Squash it.
long. I still think it went on too long. Steven Tyler was was funny. Yao Ming was funny. That's not my brother. All that kind of stuff.
It actually got funnier to me. I got impressed that I was like, I didn't find the Steven Tyler so funny, and then I was like, how can they make it like unique? And then he was like, oh, he's inside us all, or whatever. Like, just all of those things did work.
And then I really liked the button on the end that it was with Bill Hader, who was like, it's your brother. He's like, what?
I like the yeah, that was really funny.
Yeah.
Dennis. And
he freaks out.
I wish they had ended it on the I mean, he said he was dead. He said he was dead just there, but then they go another little beat further where the brother gets some line or something. But whatever. I actually really liked it. I thought it was one of their strongest closing sketches they've had.
Yeah, as far as closing, it was definitely good.
Definitely.
But
it was a great concept. You know, who's ever seen this? I've never seen this, which you were talking about earlier, the standoff. You know, we've all seen that before. So when they get outside of the box and get creative, you know.
So and I appreciate that. And I'm not, you know, I'm not against the B material. Like, you know, things need legs and need room to breathe. And I think that one had the Yao Ming really got me, and like some other beats. You know, I don't feel like it all hit. If it did, I thought it'd be A material, but there was enough.
I still think they need an Asian cast member on that Yao Ming note. Then he could pop up.
Man, they've never had an Asian cast member.
Well, they had that one guy in the video for the undecided voters that
bring him back.
Like it just ruined every joke that he said because everyone was like, "Oh, Asian on SNL." Why?
What
like,
about Bobby Lee?
People.
I guess you can't go from Mad TV to Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, you can because Taron Killam did it.
Yeah,
Taron Killam was on Mad TV for a season, I believe, maybe longer than that.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, their best guy right now.
Yeah,
we'll see.
But you can go from all that to Saturday Night Live. There's another complaint.
Just because I wouldn't normally share this, but I think it's kind of funny. I was just looking over my notes for the rest of the episode, and they're on my iPhone to reveal some movie magic here. And I accidentally I was like, what else do I have to say? I hit the trash can key, and it just erased it completely.
He had some really in-depth notes about Matthew's love life on there. I saw it, but I couldn't quite make it out.
So now I'm flying by the seat of my pants.
Flying by the seat of my pants. Well, that's all right, because let's just get into Maroon 5, because you have all that in the noggin.
I think they needed maroon T-shirts. Why wear red? Why not go maroon?
Thank you.
Okay.
I made that point, and people thought I was loserish.
And put a 5 on your put a 5 on there. You know.
Right. If you're gonna wear all red 5, and then the next song be all gray 5,
with 6 members in the band. I mean, come on, guys.
But you know what? Red in the first song, gray in the second. If you blend red and gray, does it not become maroon?
Oh,
it becomes like a really dead pink.
You know,
I like to think Adam Levine has like 180 IQ, so maybe he's on that.
Yeah, I don't think he does.
I wonder where the name came up, but who knows? I think 5 is a great number, though. Johnny 5, you know, the Fab 5. I think
4, 5, 6.
Yeah. So I enjoy it.
I like that because then you can have members leave and join, and it doesn't matter. You're like, we're covered.
5 for fighting.
The first song was more it's more of a radio song. I did enjoy it. Adam Levine's got a great voice. Obviously, very high falsetto. The second song was kind of cool. I forget the name of the. I don't know the name of the song. Do you know by any chance?
The first song?
Yeah, the first song.
Oh, it's the one that I thought was not by Maroon 5.
Yeah, it's something about a tattoo, like a tattoo. That one.
Yeah, let me just check my notes.
Yeah, the second one was good.
Your notes are gone. We're screwed.
It was a little bit more enjoyable, but I did enjoy that one. I have the names here actually right now. Let me pull that up for you.
So so you have an iPhone. He has an iPhone. You guys have an iPad in between you two. We are covered.
The first song.
Bring it, Sandy.
Oh,
it's all in the iCloud. We're fine.
Yeah. I can't seem to find that, but anyways, you can go back and watch it.
I
think he actually would make a great host. I didn't mean to interject, but next time, can we not have
You
Jeremy
said that
Renner?
twice, now you're falling in love.
Yeah.
Don't say it 3 times. It's like Beetlejuice. Okay. And then he'll show up and make out with all of us.
Yeah, with his chicken heart.
With his chicken heart. I was surprised that none of the songs were completely, fast-paced. Like 110 beats per minute type of, moves like Jagger, something that's just like, Yeah, Pandora, thanks for showing me that.
And a lot of the artists have really been bringing new songs to showcase on their second song.
That's usually the move you do, is you do your single that's out, and then your single you're trying to set up.
Yeah, and then the next day, tomorrow, we'll hear it all on the radios and whatnot.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or on Sirius, whatever it is that you listen to.
Yeah, Adam Levine is a feature of one of my favorite digital shorts ever, the I Ran So Far. Yeah, exactly. Just such a funny sketch the moment he appears in that.
Is it Iranian
well,
or Iranian?
At least in that, it's Iran for the joke. But
play on words.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
Puns, which we try and do
Very
and never
funny.
succeed on this show.
Yeah, so... That's pretty much the cast breakdown. The Don Pardo, I don't know if you guys know about this, a little bit of trivia. He's 94 years old, that announcer.
94!
He's getting up there, and there's something to
And
be
he's
said.
been on every single season.
He missed one season, all 37 seasons, but now he records from his home, and he retired in 2004. And then
so he doesn't even record there?
He records at his home now, but they were flying him into Studio 8H at 30 Rock and bringing him in there. But I think there's something to be said about, you know, that voice and knowing,
That's
you know,
the Saturday Night voice.
The Saturday Night Live voice, and your dad maybe listened to that.
It's something to be said that he sounds the same too. That's like
what is he
amazing.
doing?
Well, you know what's interesting is this was a rumor that went around for a while, but they were I wouldn't be surprised if they were actually considering it when he, you know, hit 84 or whatever, however old he was at this time. They were like, oh, he's gonna have to retire soon. There was a rumor that they were gonna have Bill Hader do an impression of his voice and just become the new announcer for the show.
That would have been awesome.
Interesting.
Or that will be awesome when that happens.
Yeah.
He was inducted in 2010 to the Academy of Sciences for the Hall of Fame, obviously, because he's been doing this for so long.
Yeah.
And he recorded a song with Frank Zappa in 1976 up on stage. It's called the I'm the Slime. So if you get the re-release in 1993 on the Zappa in New York album, you can actually hear his voice on that.
Oh, that's
I'm the slime.
Yeah, you don't see this guy too often. I thought we had a clip, but maybe we don't. But who knows?
There we go.
I really.
This is what, to be fair, this is what shows when you hear Don Pardo's voice.
This is
So
his
this might be
face,
a clip.
actually. I think they tattooed that onto his face.
Yeah.
My favorite part of Don Pardo's voice is like half the time when he announces something, it has that almost question mark at the end, where it's like Saturday Night. Where am I?
Yeah.
And
Like
not that
Harry-
he's old, but just
He
where am
is.
I?
He's so old.
Yeah,
He's not
94.
old. Not
94.
In 2012, dude, we're all living to. We'll all be centarians. You know what a centarian is?
A person is half a horse.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, God.
Or
No, a
100 years
centarian
old.
is something else.
And he also used to work on
Battlestar
Jeopardy,
Galactica.
Price is Right, and NBC Nightly News. So the guy has been around.
Wow.
Maybe we can get him to call in here on December 8th. So if anybody knows anyone that can get us connected to Don Pardo, please pardon
Please
the...
join me in welcoming Don Pardo into the
here we go.
Television
Here we
Academy
go.
of Arts and Sciences Hall of
we
Fame.
go.
Oh, this is him
This
in
is
real
him.
life.
And Lorne Michaels, Dr. Evo. There we are. This is
Oh,
what he
no.
really looks like. This is the face behind the voice.
He's so small in glass. Oh.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, yeah.
And he doesn't look that old.
Oh, Joe Biden. Oh, wait. Is he the guy from Home Alone 2 who owns the toy store?
Listen to this guy.
You know, I've heard that name so much tonight.
It's so crazy to hear
Who
him
the
talk.
hell is Don Pardo? My God.
I'm lost.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
Where am I?
I'd like to
Wonderful.
That is
thank the Hall of
fantastic.
Fame Committee,
Close your eyes.
Board of Governors,
It's
for
so
this
fun to
great
hear him.
honor,
All right.
which
is-
I truly do treasure.
I could.
He sounds
if
like-
I could get him to record my voicemail,
And
I would be a
was
very,
there
very
at
happy
the
man.
very start of television programming. Back on June 15th.
All right, an old
Okay.
man is telling a story.
Yes.
It's
It's gonna be a long time before this ends, so otherwise it's gonna be another 2-hour show.
Yeah, but
we want to steer clear.
wonderful
From
man. I'm sure he's very nice. He looks very warm and cuddly.
I mean, even a murderous man, when he becomes old, looks warm and cuddly.
Do you think you're gonna look like that?
I don't think I'll make it that far.
Did you know that when you grow older, your nose and your ears continue to grow? Did you know
Well, you know what? Hold that thought and let's put it into predictions.
that? Okay. Let's see.
Yeah.
I will not live to be 100.
Predictions. Did you guys have any predictions last week that you need to pay up for?
I predicted that we'd see Adam Levine in one sketch.
I was wrong on my prediction, but I did not
Okay.
bet. I just went
From
out
now
on a
on,
limb.
we need to have some sort of humiliation or something that you're gonna have
some
to pay.
humiliation.
Or just give me a dollar.
Waterboarding.
Yeah, waterboarding. Or you spit take. You drink Philip's spit take. Maybe that's what you do.
Oh God! So for next week's show
Not
and
so
beyond,
bad for me.
Not 2008. December 8th is the next show with Jamie Foxx and who's the musical guest? I forget.
Oh, yeah.
we abandoned our
Can't
notes.
check my notes.
We're just
Okay.
all over the place.
Jamie Foxx will be there, so I can predict that he will be much funnier than Jeremy Renner. Without
Okay.
effect.
Okay.
Well, I can definitely predict that. Anything else, Philip?
Do I want to go out and say he'll be in drag?
He's
Okay.
And yeah, and do you think he's going to do his character from In Living Color?
No, I don't.
Really? Because that's who I think he's going to do. Because he's trying to do the movie.
I think it's copyrighted.
Do you think it is? Because he's doing the movie with Martin Lawrence, where he's Shanae. Remember Shanae from?
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the man.
And
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
in drag. So if he's not dressed in drag, then what happens?
There's a really obvious
Then you
punishment
have
for
to
that,
wear a
but I
dress
don't.
in one of the shows.
That's
No.
easy breezy. I will say that he's doing the character from In Living Color. I will say that.
Okay.
Okay. And I don't know the copyright of that, but I'm going to say he does it. And if he does not, $50 crunches.
Okay, and I'm
In
gonna,
a dress.
And I'm
In a-
gonna predict
no.
that he sings as well because he also has an album out that he sings. I forget the song, but he's like a hip hop R&B singer.
Yeah, he does
Michael
like a Stevie
Jackson.
So you think he's gonna be
gonna
more
sing.
specific? Is he singing in the opening?
He
The monologue?
Yeah, he'll sing in the opening monologue for sure. But I'm just,
Or-
and that's it.
Or else.
Or else, then I'm gonna sing for you, whatever you want me to sing.
Everyone can.
Anybody? Ray Charles? Ray Charles? Not?
Okay, no,
Ray Charles?
No, I'm not gonna sing for you. What do you want me to do? You tell me.
You do enough for us.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna show you a really cool thing that people can do at home.
Ew, the
Okay.
chicken heart.
Good Lord.
Stay tuned and on the 8th if you want
right.
to see the cool thing that people can do at home.
Yeah. True.
Or a turkey heart this week.
Well,
Turkey heart. Hey, have a good Thanksgiving for sure. I'm thankful.
Hey, and on the quick, where can we catch up with you guys? Because we don't want to.
Yes.
Cool. I'll probably be floating around
He'll be with his girlfriend in New
iOS
York.
or trying to get tickets to Book of Mormon, which is so hard to do.
My girlfriend wants to see that. Maybe you can go with
yeah.
her.
Oh, well, no,
yours is
my
Wires.
girlfriend would get mad.
Oh.
Twitter?
Yeah,
Yeah.
at Fimo, F-I-M-O.
Bang.
You can check
Yeah.
me at Steven Seidel and at McMahon Show, and then go to my website, renegadereporting.com.
Yeah.
I have some Thanksgiving Day multitasking must-haves, and one of them, for example, is a sprayer. Not only can you spray your turkey like a baster, you can spray the kitty and keep her off the
Like a
fixings.
politician.
Oh, right. There you go.
Like a politician.
Well, you can reach me at www.matthewkyle.com if you need to report these guys to the authorities or you just want to see what I'm up to. But other than that, I guess we'll catch you on December 8th.
Yes, and if
Jamie
you guys
Foxx
know of a
style.
lady for Matthew Kyle, we're looking to set him up so he doesn't get in trouble with Taron Killam's wife.
I bet my girlfriend knows someone.
Yes.
Yeah. Just send me any messages you have for her,
Yes.
and I'll relay them.
And by the way,
got
if
it.
you haven't, his T-shirt is from Billie Jean, Michael Jackson.
Bam,
If you
beat
didn't
it.
notice that.
Yeah, you got it.
There you have it,
But
folks.
we'll leave you. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.